hello, world. You know what it is and you know who it is. It's your boy Mikael on the up and coming show Breaking Bread. Today, I'm pretty excited because I've been trying to get with this guest I have today for the longest time, and I'm so excited I actually can do it now. So, before I go any further and say anything, let her introduce herself.
Yeah, to work if I take myself off mute. I always do that. How you doing, me? Thanks
How you
so
doing?
much for inviting me to be a guest on your platform. I'm super excited. And I said, you know what? I don't feel good today, but I'm still gonna go up here because I don't want to let him down today. So I am Arthur Nikki Nicole, host of the Breaking Silence podcast that wears a lot of hats, graphic designer, photographer, author, you name it, I'm doing it. And yeah, I'm glad to be here.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Well, what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the month is a series called Who Are You? Regular People Have Extraordinary Stories. Because what inspired me to do it is I'm on social media and stuff, and I'm seeing all these famous people telling their stories, and everybody's in shock and awe. And I said to myself, you know what? Maybe we may not be financially rich or out in the spotlight, but we have stories too. We have racked riches stories that I feel should be shared. So that's what I said, let me make that possible on my platform. So that's what I
Awesome.
decided to do. And I'm
I love
happy you're
that
my
idea.
first guest. So thank you. Thank you. And like she said, she was under the weather. So was I. I'm at the tail end of the flu. But I said to myself, I cannot miss this opportunity because I know you are very busy and you finagled your schedule and switched it around to be on here. So I said to myself, I don't care if I had to be in a robe. I still would have been coughing on the mic, having you on the platform. So I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get into these questions. You ready?
Ready?
All right. Question number one. What is your profession and how long have you been doing it?
Well, I am a podcaster. I've been podcasting for going on a year. Come February 27th, I'll be doing this for a whole year and I'm loving it. I became full time after maybe about, let's see, 6 months maybe. I became full time, and ever since then, I've been hitting the pavement running.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Question number two. What inspired you to pick your profession of choice?
Well, my podcast started with my voice. I was in my shell. I was very shy. I used to be very shy, but a lot of people don't believe that. But yeah, I was shy, and I wanted to come out of my shell a little bit. And in the process of me coming out of my shell, then I was like, you know what? I can shine the light on everyday people doing amazing things. So that's
Mm,
when my vision shifted to starting to put the light on people that are doing amazing things. And I've met so many great people that have come across this platform so far that has been doing some amazing things. So I'm glad that I took, a step out of faith and decided to be a podcaster.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay. So, what struggles have you experienced?
Oh man, how much time do we have? Listen, being a podcaster has a lot of rewards and a lot of challenges. You start off with your equipment. You have your basic equipment, and then as time go by, you say, you know what, I need this, I need that. You spend a lot of money being a podcaster.
Hmm.
Getting guests in the beginning, was a little struggle. Then as time went by, it became a little bit easier. But you do struggle with the fact that people not showing up, people booking
Yeah,
with you. There's a lot of things, time zones. It's so many challenges as a podcaster, but you know what? It's still worth it at the end of the day for me. It's still
it
worth it.
is. It is. I agree with you because for me, it was kind of like a boredom thing because I started doing it during the pandemic. And during the pandemic, you inside the house, nothing to do, you can't go outside and interact with people. So I just said one day, you know what, let me just try this out and see what happens. And for me, it was just very therapeutic,
Yes.
very, very, very therapeutic. So I was kind of happy that I did it because I really wasn't able to speak much, as a child. I was more along the lines of the quiet boy, but I had
Yes.
so much to say, but just due to my surroundings, it kind of made me feel like I shouldn't say certain things because I felt like it wouldn't be of importance to the people I was speaking to. So I didn't. But now that I'm older, you know, and I'm starting to develop who I am as a person, and I have children as well, so it was kind of tailor made, and it worked out for me at the end. I enjoy doing it. Like even if I don't blow up and not become rich and famous, it doesn't really matter to me. You know, I'm doing this more for the love of the art than the money. You know, so
Absolutely, I
I
agree.
yeah, I definitely agree with you with that. And then as far as the struggles go, you're not lying about that. I mean, last minute cancellations, you know, equipment that you have not functioning properly. It can be so many things that can make it very, very difficult to be a podcaster. But as
Yes,
long as you have resilience and you love what you're doing, you'll continue to do it. I'm a
exactly.
firm believer in that. Firm believer in that. All
I
right.
agree.
On to the next question. What do you like the most about what you're doing?
Oh man. I love being able to let the world know about people, and the things that they're doing. And then the best part about it is at the end, when they're like amazed at everything that I do as a podcaster, man, it just makes the journey just so much better because now they are getting the spotlight they deserve and they're grateful for me putting them in that spotlight. So it's things that makes it all worth it to be this podcast and to be the host of Breaking the Silence, honestly.
I feel that. Yeah, for me, um, what do I like most? I like in the interacting part of it. You know, being able to interact and talk to different people. You know, because
Mhm.
I'm very, very introverted, and it's like when I tell people that, they're like, "Yo, dude, you have a podcast. How are you introverted?" And I'm just like, believe it or not, I really didn't like speaking to people, but
Okay.
yeah, you know, I really did it, but then I just took a chance and I decided to do so, and I love it because I've met a lot of great people through
Yes.
podcasting. You know,
Yes, yes, it is so great, because like you said, you meet a lot of different people, not just in your hometown and your area, but all over the world. You're meeting different people. I've met people internationally. I've met
Mhm.
people all over the world. So it's just great to be connected to different people doing different things because you never know, where that will take you. Because networking with different people will take you to different levels that sometimes you don't even ask for.
Exactly, exactly, and that's one of the things I love about it. You know, I've
Mhm.
met this one group of people that I've been cool with them for like going on 5 years now, and I would have never thought. And I happened to do that through podcasting. You know, I happened to meet them through podcasting, so it's just it's a beautiful thing, man. You know, and then
Mhm.
I love it for the simple fact of you can convey information. I hate when people use their platforms to put out negative and bad information. I hate that. You know
Oh my
that.
goodness. I met a lot of great people too. My sister that you got a comment up there, man, best thing that could ever happen, meeting her through podcasting. And I love it. Now we have our own podcast now because of that connection. So
Mhm.
love it, love it, love it.
That's what I'm saying, man. You know, as long as you doing the right thing with what you have, it's all good for me. You know, because I was talking about before, I'm big on energy. You
Yes.
gotta have good energy. If you have that negative energy, I can't have you on my platform.
Come on around me.
You know?
Seriously. You have
Yeah,
to. You have to have a great energy. It's not gonna work.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have my moments, you know, where I say controversial stuff, but it's also fun and funny at the same time. Like what I say is not going to embarrass or degrade a certain gender or a certain race, you know? So
Right.
yeah, I never was really the one for that. I just like to have fun because, like I said, I wasn't able to speak as a child. So now that I'm older and I'm able to, and like I said, I have children, it's fun. You know, I even have my daughter. She's not a podcaster, but she's a children YouTuber. So
Hmm.
we do challenges together and stuff, and we record it, and she likes it as well. So you know, that's
Nice.
bringing it down to the next generation. So that's why I'm happy I'm
Yes.
doing that. So you know.
Yes, my grandson, he always comes over. When he comes over, the first thing he do is hit the studio and get in my chair. He did it today. And I was like, dude, are you gonna be the boss one day? But you have to have your whys. And when you have your why, then everything else just comes easier. I want to make him proud. I want him to know that, hey, grandma was a great person. So when
Mhm.
you have those people in your life and children will push you to your max, to
Boy,
your
you ain't lying.
max.
You are definitely not lying. But that's I kind of feel like that's kind of good in a good way because it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you feeling like you alive when you have the children just running around and being kids versus just being in that complete silence. I mean, don't get me wrong, silence is good to have and to be in sometimes, but all the time, nah, no.
No, no, not all the time.
Yeah, so I mean, I have my moments too with my youngest daughter. And then sometimes I'd be like, "Oh my God, relax," and then the other time I'm looking at her like, wow, man, it just feels good to see children being children, man. Because a lot of these children, you know, like me, I'm pretty sure like you were kind of forced to grow up quicker
Yes.
than intended, you know?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, so you really never had the chance to be a child and do childlike things.
No. Especially me. I was a parent at 16, so I really didn't have time to do anything but parent. So
Yeah, yeah,
you're right.
me too. I had my oldest daughter when I was 19.
See? Forced to grow up and work. You had to work, and do life and things, take care of the child. So you're right. So now this mic, when I told somebody, I said, you know what? I show up for myself every time that I hit this mic. Every single time. This is how I show up for myself because I love what I'm doing. Like I become a different person when I come behind this mic. I'm myself authentically now. I'm still myself, but I'm able to just share my voice when I get behind this mic. It just comes natural.
And that's what I'm saying. And I'm not choreographed. I don't look at a paper and say, okay, I'm going to say this at this time. No, I just naturally flow. And that's what I love about it. That you naturally flow and people that you don't even know are flowing with you. And it's like a synchronization. So it's kind of like a back and forth kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about it, man.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. Back and forth.
That's what I love about it, you know? And I'm big on that. Just be natural. Forget all of that. You ready? 5, 4, and read the cue card. No, I don't do all of that. I do not do all of
You know
that.
what? That's crazy you say that because I was looking at somebody podcast the other night and they had cue cards. And I'm like, why?
Really?
Why? Now in the beginning, now I was on, I had my own questions and I had to because I was scared. I was scared that, if I would fumble or something. But then eventually I started, having the conversation. Hey, how you doing? Why you do what you do? Boom. Everything just flows. So when you just show up and just have a conversation with people, everything flows properly. But if you rehearsed it, like you said, it's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, it's not natural. It's not a natural vibe because now you're basically programming your brain to not be fake, but just to be embedded in the situation versus being comfortable in it. So now you're saying in your head, okay, I have to do this, so I'm just going to be like a robot and I'm going to do it versus, sitting down, relaxing, feeling comfortable, letting it flow from your heart, stuff like that, man. And that's
Like
what
you
I
like you said earlier, when they come in the studio early, then you're able to feel them out. You're able to feel the energy. You're able to feel the vibe. So now, before you go live or before you record, it's going to be great anyway because you're comfortable with each other. You're comfortable talking to each other. So it's best that you come in early because of that factor.
Exactly my point. That's why when you had told me I'm in the studio early, I'm like, yo, it's like 7:50. I'm like, yo, I thought I was early.
I always when I'm a guest on the platform, I always go into studios at least an hour.
Yeah.
Because for one, I just feel like, be there, be prepared, be ready to take anything can happen. Your audio can go out, your video can go out, technical difficulty. So I think about things like that. And plus, I just want to be on time to see what the host need me to do. So I expect that out of my guests too. And I guess that's kind of like, well, you can't expect people to be like you, but I show up early because I want to be in the know.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, for me, I mean, I gotta do it like you, but I try to like get there like at least 15, 20 minutes earlier so we can have a quick little conversation before, we go live. So, all right. Question number 5. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What advice would you give to people that are thinking about doing the same thing you're doing?
My advice, if you're trying to be a podcaster, the first thing you need to do is research. Research. what you're trying to do. You find out your why, find out your niche, know what you're doing it for and who you're doing it for. Before you even press play, you need to make sure that you're ready to go behind that mic, because being behind this mic is not the easiest task. And some days you're going to want to give up. Some days you're going to want to throw the towel in, but you still have to keep going regardless of how you feel about the situation. But my advice is to just start. I took a year of planning, a whole year. But at the end of the day, when I started, I still felt like there were so many other things that I should be doing or I could be doing. But at the end of the day, just start. Start. If you have somebody that you know in mind that you notice a podcast, to go to them and ask them for advice. I'm approachable. If you want to know how to start, ask me. I got you. Mm-hmm. But just start. Because if you don't start, then guess what? You're never going to do it.
Exactly.
That's it.
I definitely agree with you in that aspect. Because for me, I was talking about it and I was like, no, but what if I don't look right? Or what if the lighting is wrong? Or what if I say all the wrong things? Or what if I stutter over my words? Or, what if somebody says, oh, it's whack?
It's called editing.
Exactly. And I said one day, you know what? I'm going to do this. Because how my first podcast started was, like I said, it was a pandemic. It was the beginning of the pandemic. So, because the pandemic started around March, I think March or April of 2020. I was just sitting there, and where I was staying at, it was like a dormitory. So it was like a big hotel with a bunch of rooms and stuff. And I was kind of cool with these two guys. And I said, hey, you want to do a podcast? They started laughing. For what? I'm like, why not? We ain't nothing else to do. And they said, sure. And then when I did it, I said, hey, I like this.
So when you started with hosts, you had other hosts in the beginning?
It was just me as like the actual host, but I just asked people just to be on it. It was just, random. Like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Yeah, sure. And then once I started getting into it a little bit more, that's when people from my job was like, yo, I seen your podcast on Facebook. Could I be on the show? And I said, this might be working. Yeah, one show, I had a full panel. I had maybe 13 or 14 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of people on the stage now.
Yeah, and it worked out for me. And it's like now, it's like my brain is like, okay, what topic are we going to talk about? Because I don't look up trending topics or stuff like that. Stuff just pops in my head, to be honest with you. And I'll just say, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. And I'll, go on the social media and say, hey, I'm looking for a guest. Or I will connect like me and you connect. And I said, hey, this is the subject. How do you feel about it? You want to talk about it? And it just works from there. Mm-hmm. So all of my questions that I have regarding the subject, I do not look nothing up on Google. Everything's on the top of my head. So
boom. So how do you feel now after being podcasting for so long now?
I mean, for me now, it's just natural for me. Like I don't get nervous like I used to. I got nervous recently about 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago because I had a lot of heavy hitters as far as accolades on my platform compared to me. So I really was nervous, but you couldn't tell because I said, just because they have the accolades doesn't mean they're a better person than me. We are all equal.
That's it.
Whether you have a PhD or a GED, we are all equal, at least in my eyes and in the eyes of the man upstairs. So that's just how I look at it.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the next few years. This first year was like, wow. So I'm like, I said to my sister all the time, like, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing in year 5. I really don't, but I'm enjoying it. I love it. And I hope that, it takes me further and further and further, honestly.
Because I had seen a video on YouTube and it said that it takes the average person to really be successful in their craft, like in this situation, podcasting, 6 to 8 years.
I believe that.
Before it really, takes off. So at first I was saying to myself, man, I've been doing this for like 4 years and I got a little bit of buzz, but nothing is happening. I don't think I want to do this anymore. And then 2 days later, that video popped up on my news feed in YouTube. And I just basically was the higher power saying, don't give up.
I mean, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of research. Like you do have to, look at people like your competitors, a little bit in podcasting, like what they doing differently. Or like me, I look at podcasts and be like, you know what am I not gonna do? Yeah. So sometimes you have to look at it that way too. Like, okay, if I don't do this, then I may, bump myself up. There's a lot of podcasters out there that's at 3 million followers and subscribers, and I'm like, how did they get there?
How? Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get people to subscribe, just to hit a button for free.
For free, like it don't cost no money. Just hit the subscribe button. That's it.
So I don't know how they did it. So I'm just in my back of my mind. I'm like, how did they get that far up and with subscribers? Like, what was so good about their show that they hit the button? So if you think about it like that, then you probably, come out on top real soon. Like you just got to put in the work. That's it.
This is true. This is true. This is true. Well, usually at the end of my shows, I like to ask 5 random questions. Don't worry about it. They're not no crazy off the wall questions. I like to let people know that because once I say that, they be looking at me like, what you mean? You ain't telling me about these questions. So there ain't no crazy questions. So you ain't got to worry about it.
Let's go.
All right. The first question is, give me a second to get to the page. Where are my questions? I have so many pages in here. Oh, here we go. All right. Question number 1. Do you know your purpose on earth?
Yeah, well, yes. I didn't always know that, but now I do know my purpose. When I actually became a podcaster, I realized then that my purpose was to help people. And not only just help people, but help people connect to other people. And when I can connect people to people, man, that is just mind-blowing for me when I can connect, say, an artist to a label or maybe an artist to an event or anything that's going on. So I really believe my purpose on this earth is to help people. And not all the time that, those connections are going to be lifetime. Mm-hmm. I'm just supposed to be there just for that moment to connect somebody to somebody and then move on. So that is my purpose. To help people.
I love that answer. I agree with you. I love that answer 100%. All right. Question number 2. What advice would you give about life?
Slow down. Mm-hmm. Slow down. Especially young people. We all say, I can't wait till I turn 18. Slow down. Just take your 24 hours one day at a time. And understand that every hour, every minute, every second counts because it's not promised. People always say tomorrow's not promised. The next second is not promised. We don't know when we're going to leave this earth. So when we start looking at that way, then we'll learn to walk differently. We'll learn to move differently in life when we start utilizing our 24 hours for just what they are. Slow down. That's it.
Some powerful words right there. I wish I would have slowed down, boy.
I'm telling you, slow down. Listen to somebody and just slow down.
Yeah, man. All right. Question number 3. What do you want your legacy to be?
I asked that question a lot on my podcast, and then for that to be thrown at me, now I'm looking like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
My legacy, the legacy I want to leave on the world is that you can indeed win together. Mm-hmm. And if you just take just one moment to connect to one person and let that person connect you to the next person, it is possible that we can win together. Mm-hmm. But people are so tied up on, I want to be better than the next person, or I want to do this by myself, being selfish, that we can't win together, but we can. So my legacy, I want to leave in a world that, listen, let's help one another, build together. Let's go to the top
Amen. Amen. I'm telling you, I'm loving the synchronization between me and you. I'm loving this right now, seriously, because like as you're answering the questions, I'm saying to myself, that's the same thing I would say too, man. Seriously. Seriously. All right, question number 4. What would you tell your 15-year-old self now?
Oh, child. My 15-year-old self.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing. Slow down, because life at 18 is going to be waiting on you. Life at 18 is going to be waiting on you. Just take the time to get to know yourself now. Take the time to do what you have to do in your life right now. Look at what's in front of you and move on it. Because there's a lot of things I could have done at 15 that now I'm thinking about, wow, I should have moved on that then. And to listen. It's very important that we listen. And a lot of times we're hard-headed. We don't listen to people. We don't listen to the wisdom from the older people. They've been there. They've done that. So they have the right to give you some type of advice. So if you have somebody that's in your life that's an elderly person, listen to them. They've been through it. They know what they're talking about. And they're just trying to save you from making the same mistakes as they did.
Amen.
So that's what I would tell myself.
Amen. I agree with that. I really didn't have nobody to steer me in the right direction, not nobody within close vicinity. So what you said just now really resonated with me, because I feel if I would have had that older person to grab me by the collar and say, hey, young buck, slow down. You're doing too much. You're going to have all the time to be doing what you're doing when you get older. Right now, just do what you got to do and be a kid. I wish I had that. So exactly. I agree with that. So question number 5. And the last question, what has life shown you so far?
2024 was a year that I will never forget. 2024 showed me that love can be thrown around a lot. And I'm a person.
Again for the people in the back, boy.
I have always been a person of action anyway. When you tell me that you love me, I'm not going to just run with it and believe it. But I've always been a person of action. But 2024 showed me so many things and taught me so many lessons about life and people. Not everybody is meant to go to the top with you. Mm-hmm. Not everybody is meant to be in your life. Sometimes it's your job just to take them across to the other side and leave them there. And once you realize that, when you get on that elevator of life, you're going to start off at floor number 1. And of course, when you get on the elevator, you're going to floor by floor, and there's people getting on and off of that elevator. When you look at your life as being that type of situation and understand that at some stages in your life, you may get to floor 5, you're going to lose some people. You may get to floor 6, you're going to lose some more. Not everybody is meant to go to the top with you. And sometimes you have to understand that that's okay. And not everybody is going to, be you. You can't expect you out of people. What you won't do, others will. But you can't keep expecting them to treat you the way you want to be treated. Plus, I also learned, too, to show up for myself. Coach Tammy Nicole told me to show up for myself. Show up for myself more. Meek, I can go on and on about them lessons in 2024. But I'm telling you, life is hard enough. And I feel like at the end of the day, we all need each other. And I always said this. My mom said, I keep saying this. People need people.
Yes. Yes.
How do you think you get anywhere in life, even down to celebrities? How did they get there? People. So start treating people better in life and start acknowledging your actions and stop trying to bring one another down.
Amen. Amen. I believe, I'm a firm believer in that, because there is nobody walking this earth that can say, I did it by myself. No, you didn't.
You didn't.
No, you didn't. Everybody had somebody that helped them get to where they were at. Now, whether you remain humbled and return the favor when you could, that's entirely on you, and that's your karma. But I believe in that. And karma had to really smacked me around a few times for me to be so humble. So now I look at it like I try to treat everybody fairly.
Yeah, you have to. And sometimes you have to teach people how to treat you.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, I like that one.
You do. Somebody told me that and I didn't believe that, but you really do have to teach people how to treat you. And you have to set those boundaries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, because Jim Jones had said something, and I think it went like this. He said, "You don't have to earn my respect. You have to earn my disrespect."
Boom.
And that just correlates so well with what you just said.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
See, I used to go in 100 with people, I would trust people until they gave me a reason not to trust them. But now I'm on 0. You have to give me a reason to trust you.
yes, yes. Amen. Amen to that. All right. Well, usually what I do before the show is I always, ask the person I'm talking to give the audience some inspirational words. So, what you got for them?
All right, everybody. Listen, know that life is too short, and I'm a big stickler on 24 hours. Life is too short. So if there is somebody out there that you're bickering with, if there's somebody out there that you're not getting along with, make up, forgive him. Because the day that they leave this world, you don't want to regret not being able to be in their lives, not being able to walk that walk with them. Because when that casket closes, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So be like my sister Cher always says, be intentional with your life. Do what you're supposed to do. Treat everybody right. Because you never know the day or the hour that God is going to take you out of this world. And he said, you know what, Nikki, it's time, and I want to ask you some questions, because he's not going to ask about nobody else. He's going to ask about you and how you walk the walk on earth, how you treated people. Start utilizing your 24 hours, literally, every minute, every second. I know some people work full-time jobs, but start investing in yourself. Start knowing your worth and be authentic. Why would you want to be somebody else? Be yourself. And guess what? The world will gravitate to you.
I'm not even going to lie. Watching you say that just now, you had me mesmerized with your words just now. I swear to God. I'm looking like I had my head tilted to the side looking. I said, yo, you said some powerful stuff, man. You on to something with this podcast, and Miss Nikki, I'm telling you, you on to something, because your words had me in a trance just now. Wow. Seriously. I'm being serious, and it's like I like to be honest. I don't like to just say it because you're my guest. I'm honest, And a lot of people don't do that. Oh, yeah, it was nice. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you, like, I don't like it. I'm not going to say, oh, it's trash, give it up. I'm just going to say it doesn't really appease me, Not saying it won't do so for other people, but just not for me,
Right.
And I'm being honest. You had me in a trance just now. Because, wow, yeah. I don't even know what to say, because what you said makes perfect sense. And we need more of that in this generation versus what we have being pushed on social media, being pushed on the internet. It's just negativity, and everybody just eating it up. Like, we need to stop that.
But see, the problem is people don't believe in themselves. A lot of people, believe it or not, Meek, out there still with low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have low self-esteem, what you'll do, you'll go for anything. But if you just start believing in yourself, you can change the world, change your life. Honestly.
Mm-hmm. Because I remember
to get to that point, though, Meek, it took a while for me to get to that point. You know what? I'm glad I'm there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad I'm in this status where I can say, you know what? I love me, and I believe in me, and anything I want to do, I'm gonna do. With God willing, of course, God is gonna be behind it. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of people out there just don't believe they really can do it. That's it.
This is true. This is 100% true because I remember at one point in life where you would get beat for not telling the truth. Do you know you was lying? Get the little wooden spoon or the metal spoon in the back of the head. Grandma would be like, "Go in the backyard and go get a switch off the tree."
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like now it's the opposite. You get beat for telling the truth. Don't say that. Why did you say that? What do you mean? It's the truth.
It's truth. But integrity is everything. Everything.
I'm a firm believer in that. And it's like that is a sign of worse things to come for me personally. If you are looked at or frowned upon in a negative way for telling the truth, like, no, it shouldn't be like that.
No lies, man. The tell no lies. You're right. You used to get beat. You go braid 2 switches together. Don't play with me.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like my grandmother was big on that. No matter what it is, tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
If you did something wrong, I'm still gonna whoop your butt, but I would be more happy. Exactly. Tell the truth. That's all.
Just stand up and take your consequences. That's it.
Exactly my point. And I'm telling you, it took me a long time to get there because my grandmother died when I was 12. So on my father's side. So that old school discipline kind of left with her. So I was like, oh, well, I ain't got to worry about getting switches to the ass. Hey, grandma ain't here. I'm alive. And it's like, as I got older, it just like a big circle and just smacked me in my face one day. And I said, oh, no, I can't. I don't want another big boomerang like that to hit me in my head. So from that point, I would say I'm still on that journey, but I'll say for me, like 4 or 5 years ago, where I was just like, you know what? Even though the truth may be embarrassing or it may hurt, but it'll be better for my soul and my integrity if I just tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
So
that's it. That's it. Because you're going to tell the truth on Judgment Day anyway, so you might as well go and get it out of the way.
My point exactly. But author Nikki Nicole, thank you. Because I know you're a busy girl. Because every time I look on my news feed, you got a new video. I'm like, this girl is working. She is not playing. She is working. Sometimes I see 2 different videos in one day. And I'm like, she is working. So thank you for taking the time out your day to be on my platform. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. And of course, I got to be on yours. So when we get off here, I'm going to message you so we could talk more about it because I definitely want to be on your platform as well.
Absolutely. We got to do it.
All right. Appreciate you. To all the people watching, you know the motto, spread love, not hate, chase our dreams. We out of here.